Welcome, Carole. You've got a really interesting looking book here.
Yes, The Fall of Light by Sarah Laing. Now, she's a young, now living in Auckland. She grew up in Palmerston North, I think, but living in Auckland. She's a very multi-talented young woman, Sarah Laing. She's a novelist and short story writer. Her first book that she published was short stories. Then she wrote a novel, and now this new novel, The Fall of Light. But she's also a graphic artist, so she actually designs the covers of a lot of books for other writers,
Right.
A lot of locally published novels and so on. And of course does a cartoon strip in Metro regularly.
It's a whole page in Metro,
Yes,
isn't it? Yes,
yeah.
which is a nice relief from all the text and things.
Yes,
It's great.
yes, and she does it all through this book. So Rudy, who is the main character, is an architect, a middle-aged man, and he has dreams all through the book, and so the drawings are Rudy's dreams. And initially I didn't take much notice of them, but as I got more and more hooked into the book, I found myself going back and looking at the drawings. And at one point I stopped and I just flipped over and I followed the drawings. I went to the next lot of drawings and the next lot of drawings and followed the whole story of the drawings right through. A girl and a tiger and this wonderful library, but the shelves are not full of books, they're full of little miniature buildings and things, which fits in with the whole architecture thing. It's quite intriguing. Rudy is he set up an architecture company, but he is being sort of taken over in a way by the young upcoming new architects, and he is artistically he has these fabulous ideas and he wants them to be translated into these marvelous buildings, but they're what he wants rather than what the clients necessarily want. Mm-hmm. So a lot of his plans are rejected by clients, and the new upcoming young things in the company, their plans are accepted by the clients, and he's feeling a bit thwarted in all sorts of ways.
The bane of being an architect is
and
fighting the client's needs.
Yes, exactly. And his wife has left him. He's very self-centered. He's very work-focused. He works long hours. He's got two daughters, and the relationship with them is very interesting. The teenage one is Sarah captures the teenage girl beautifully. She's quite disdainful, really, of her father. The younger one is, the 8 or 9 year old is still young enough to sort of adore her father. But he's quite a difficult man in a way, and in some ways, he drives you crazy, but he's also vulnerable. What she captures is his vulnerability, and so you really quite like him and you want him to be okay in the end. I found it fascinating. I know nothing about architecture. There's lots of architecture terms in here.
Is that where the title comes from?
The Fall of Light, yes, I think, and the way the light falls in buildings and so on, and the way you structure them to capture the light.
It's a very unusual idea, isn't it, to have a book that's text plus hand-drawn pictures. So I mean, it's not really a graphic novel.
No, it's not a graphic novel,
and yet it somehow moves and shifts between the two, which in a visual age is a very smart idea, isn't it?
I think it works really well. Yeah, I really liked Rudy, and I sort of cheered for him along the way, along his difficult way, and his falling out with his old friend, a guy he'd known for years, and his relationships with his daughter, and the strained relationship with his wife.
And where is it set?
It's set locally, and he has built this house out west somewhere that you suspect is out towards Piha or Karikari or somewhere out there. This fabulous, incredible house that his wife no longer wants to live in. But he, it's his pride and joy, his own living in the house he designed for himself. So, it's a fascinating, very well written local novel, very Auckland, and I loved it. I think Sarah Laing's a great talent.
Thank you, Carole Beu.